clubbing around and I was watching the Titans, and Byron said something that stood out to me, and I must share it, ladies and gentlemen. And before I do that, please remember, all right? Please remember. Hey y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man, and share the live stream. Come on now, stop playing. Support, support, support. The like button is free, heard? Alright, follow me on all platforms, all that good stuff. The donation link is pinned at the top of the comment section. We got the Cash App, we got the PayPal. Alright, let's get to 20K subs on Bolo VNR 2.0. Let's get to 5,000 subs on Bolo VNR clips. Let's get it. And thanks to all the new subscribers. Thanks to all the supporters. Let's go. Mr. Byron from Mystic Sensation, man. Check this out.
That mean him pay feet, him own it.
At Wycliffe Close in Beverly Hills, no mortgage listed. The land for the Shenstone Beverly Hills house he's building, no mortgage listed. And around $525,000 spent building the house in the 3 years after Honus's Jamaica Labour Party lost the election in 2011. Honus, through a member of his team, said he wouldn't comment on the source of funds for any of his properties before the election, but even after, he didn't. He also said he would make his financial statement public at the end of March 2016, but he didn't.
No, but take it away now, by that.
All right.
The guy,
All right.
The guy come out in the better. He must sit up on the ballot.
Where him get the money from? What's the source of income?
All right.
Funding. What's the source of funding, I should say?
Outside.
Okay, so let us begin, right, by saying all of the information that Lonesome had just presented, we are asking the Jamaica Labour Party administration if they can dispute any of the information. Can they dispute it? No, because it is 100% facts. Let me just also inform the electorate that as it relates to the People's National Party from 1954 until we speak here, because we know that we are going to send, right, some of the ministers, JLP ministers, in prison as it relates to 2025. We are going to send them to prison. These People's National Party. All right.
Oh, but take it away now, by that.
All right.
The guy,
All
The
right.
guy come out in the better. He must sit up on the ballot.
Where him get the money from? What's the source of income?
All right.
Funding. What's the source of funding, I should say?
Outside.
Okay, so let us begin, right, by saying all of the information that Lonesome had just presented, we are asking the Jamaica Labour Party administration if they can dispute any of the information. Can they dispute it? No, because it is 100% facts. Let me just also inform the electorate that as it relates to the People's National Party from 1954 until we speak here, because we know that we are going to send, right, some of the ministers, JLP ministers, in prison as it relates to 2025. We are going to send them to prison. So from 1954, right, until we speak, the People's National Party have been putting JLP ministers in front of the court, right, and convict them. Now, so let me start with this. When you look at the clip that Lonesome just played, and you hear some people said both parties are the same.
Them sick.
Now, you wonder to yourself, are these people have any brilliance, any at all? Seriously consider this. When you that Lonesome just played, and you hear some people said both parties are the same.
Them sick.
Now, you wonder to yourself, are these people have any brilliance, any at all? Now, seriously consider this. When you look at two items, item number one that represents the People's National Party, item number two that represents the Jamaica Labour Party. The People's National Party always find the corruption of the Jamaica Labour Party and put them in front of the court. And guess what? The court found them guilty from 1954 until now. Now, let us bring forward to the clip that just presented itself. There are two persons that I'm going to blame for the continuation of corruption as it relates to Andrew Holness administration. So we speak about Andrew Holness administration. The two main persons that I'm going to blame for the continuation of Andrew Holness corruption is one, Paul Llewellyn. What are that one? Paul Llewellyn and the corruption prosecutor.
Yes.
These are the two persons that need to be blamed. Now, why Mystic Sensation is blaming those two persons? Let us go back to the Corruption Index 2025. The Corruption Index is going to show you that Jamaica under Andrew Holness administration had dropped 4 digits down as it relates to corruption. Jamaica was at 44. And the reason for Jamaica to be at 44 was the participation only as a result of the inspiration of Mark Golding. Why? Mark Golding that crafted the 2017 Integrity Commission Act, crafted the bill, and Andrew Holness piloted through, you understand, to pass it 2017 as the Integrity Commission Act. And immediately, it was recognized by the world financiers, right, who had now raised Jamaica 4 digits upwards. As a matter of fact, not 4 digits upwards, let me correct myself, because Bruce Golding had brought it to the lowest level,
Right.
where the corruption index was reflecting 30 under Bruce Golding. Remember now, as it relates to understanding the corruption index, that anything below 50 is highly corrupted, anything above 50, right, is good.
Right.
So Bruce Golding, under Bruce Golding administration, it had dropped to the lowest as it relates to 30. So just imagine as it relates to 30 and it goes to 40. Brought it to the lowest level of years, right? Who had now raised Jamaica 4 digits upwards. As a matter of fact, not 4 digits upwards, let me correct myself, because Bruce Golding had brought it to the lowest level,
Right.
where the corruption index was reflecting 30 under Bruce Golding. Remember now, as it relates to understanding the corruption index, that anything below 50 is highly corrupted, anything above 50, right, is good.
Right.
So Bruce Golding, under Bruce Golding administration, it had dropped to the lowest as it relates to 30. So just imagine as it relates to 30 and it goes to 44, right? Goes to 44 as a result of the People's National Party, right? Giving it a 14%, a 14 points up. 14 points up, people. So people need to look at this. Look at this, right? And I'm speaking specifically to what we call peanut brain, who have the idea that Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, right, are one of a kind. So I'm definitely speaking to those peanut brain, those nutheads.
We get it. You don't really want your kids watching videos, but it can have certain advantages.
14 points up. 14 points up, people. So people need to look at this. Look at this. Right? And I'm speaking specifically to what we call peanut brain, who have the idea that Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party, right, are one of a kind. So I'm definitely speaking to those peanut brain, those nutheads, right? Those square, how should I call it? Persons with a, you know that square head that try to fit into a...
Fully dance. Just say fully dance.
That is what, these are the persons I am
A square peg in a round hole, man. Square peg in a round hole.
I'm addressing tonight. That when you look at your history and you see all of that as it relates to Jamaica Labour Party under Bruce Golding, drop the corruption index, right, to 30. Big embarrassment for Jamaica. Right? Now, People's National Party get in, right? And brought it 14 digit up, where we stood at 44. This where we stood at 40, sorry. 10 points, 10 digit up, where we stood at 40. Now watch this now, people. Watch this now. But it was at 40. Mark Golding as it relates to the introduction of the Integrity Commission Act 2017 that crafted by Mark Golding, 4 points upward again, make Jamaica in a position of 44 on the corruption index for 2023-2024 upward from 2017 upward. So from 2017 upward, right, the corruption index, when you read it, it is speaking that it is 44. Now, think of that, people. Now, so then the Andrew Holness administration, until now, what we have seen the corruption index 2025, another embarrassment for Jamaica. Yep. Big embarrassment. And the Andrew Holness administration had lost 4-digit downward. So let us ask a question, and for those who talk about PNP and JP are the same thing. Is it the PNP in power? Is it the PNP is in governance that caused the corruption index, the world financiers to look at it, World Bank and IMF and all these people, to say that, okay, all right, we have to take them 4-digit downwards as it relates to the corruption index? Andrew Holness-led administration. Now, when you have the corruption index, right, cause you to lose points, digit down in the corruption index, who do you look at? Let us ask the question for people who are thinking prudently. Who do you look at? Well, that you have to look on, the criminal justice system. Why do you need to look on the criminal justice system? Because the criminal justice system, right, should be capable enough to hold corruptors guilty. So when Mystic Sensation said, I blame 2 persons for this, the corruption index also blaming these 2 persons, right, which is Paula Llewellyn and DPP. In spite of what you want to talk and speak nice and talk about testicular fortitude and all of that bullshit that you want to speak about, she sits on corruption and protect these corruptors. The corruption prosecutor had done that as well. Yeah. Right? Failing to prosecute Andrew Holness and his criminal network. So let us move forward in terms of what we have seen now, right? Where SSL comes into play. Right? You don't want to go so far away. You want no. Hold on. Because
we have to mash it up, but we give them say, but we have to mash up the SSL thing. Can remember we just give them defense acting,
All right, so exactly. Since okay, so I don't want to jump the subject. You understand? Yes. So since I deal with the defense act, let me just confine myself to the defense act. And then when we deal with SSL, we mash up the SSL.
All right, yes.
So here it is as it relates to FinSA. So I want to stay on point. Right?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, just to break what Mr. Byron just talked about in terms of the corruption index. Just for some clarity for those who are not understanding, he's showing and proving that throughout the years, one of the biggest evidence is the corruption index. When a certain government goes into power, the corruption index is lowered. We lose points. We are seen amongst the world as more corrupt. And when another certain political party goes in power, that corruption index heightens, which is what you want it to do, because anything above 50% in the corruption index means that that party and that country, it has, greater respect in the world. They are seen as less corrupt. So the higher the score is, the less corrupt you are. The lower the score is, the more corrupt you are. And he mentioned something that I didn't even know. He mentioned that under the under the Mr. Golding, my name again, somebody type it in the chat. Mr. Golding, the Prime Minister, under his tenure, our score was the lowest ever, 30% out of 100. That's terrible, that's embarrassing. And then the PNP came in and they rose it up to 40. And then through Mark Golding work with the Integrity Commission Act, that he drafted and the JLP put into law, it went up again. And now, as the JLP is in power, that corruption index is going down. So the people that are saying that PNP and JLP is the same, well, I don't see You'll have to explain that to me, and I would love to hear it in the comment section. But let's get to the rest of what Mr. Byron has to say.
Who we have as it relates to, right, the causation of the 90s financial meltdown, right? Edward Siaga, Dan Crawford, Paul Chen Young, right? Hugh Croskery, the culprits,
Yeah.
right? Now, look on the most excellent, one of the best finance minister who came under such pressure of these criminals with their Ponzi schemes, who can take up people investment, right? Millions of dollars of investment, lend it to them friend. As a matter of fact, give it to them friend. And where them friend can say, oh, you know, I forgot, right? And so then literally steal investors' money. And here it is, that it caused what we call a financial meltdown. So the government now has to come in now to rescue. This is how now FinSac came in, right? Remember what FinSac is, is the financial adjustment, you understand, for this situation that occurred, right, by the GLP criminal rats.
Are you a procurement specialist?
By the GLP criminal rats, where Omar Davis, right, has to consult with some of the best financial advisors, because it is not Omar Davis. What people don't understand as it relates to how FinSac was created. People just believe that, okay, it is just Omar Davis just jump up and just, I'm going to create FinSac and just, no, that's not how it works. How it works is that when the financial meltdown happened and the crisis began, Omar Davis, being the Minister of Finance, have to now have dialogue, right, with some of the best financial practitioners and ask them, okay, all right, how are we going to do this? How are we going to be able to save the economy, right? How are we going to be able to exercise in order to not have people, right, make a run on the bank or certain things are scared, right, or damage our economy? So it is Omar Davis, along, right, with financial advisors and financial educators who came up with FinSac so people get and try to understand what FinSac means. FinSac has nothing to do in terms of causation to the 90s financial meltdown, right? The causation comes as a result, right, of the Jamaican Labour Party, right, poor policies to create all of those financial institutions, right, that I and other persons, educated persons, will call Ponzi schemes, right? As it relates to Paul Chen Young and Associates and all of them. Those were the entities that caused the financial meltdown. And where, of course, Omar Davis with financial advisors come together to what? Create FinSac to help rescue many investors. So FinSac, the financial adjustment company, created to do what? Save and repay back investors. Now, what happened with the FinSac is that many investors got paid up. And people need to do the research to have an understanding that what Omar Davis had done, you understand, was next to a miracle. And I will say, I will just rest my point here and yield back for our next Titan to speak.
I've always heard, the FinSac argument come up. I still see a few people in the chat. I would challenge anybody to challenge what Mr. Mystic Sensation Byron is saying about that FinSac situation. And please show the evidence, because he has done a lot of work on his platform showing the evidence. Why haven't they released the FinSac report? I just never understood that. And you know what he said about the DPP. I mean, I understand what he's saying, because look at the DPP doesn't need anybody to go ahead and prosecute anybody, you know. The Integrity Commission report that came out, the DPP can move forward if she wants to and try the Prime Minister, you know. I really want you guys to understand that, you know. And the other person that he mentioned, I think her name is Keisha Prince Kamika. She is the corruption prosecution, the director of corruption prosecution on the Integrity Commission. So he's blaming her for those two women for the current state of Jamaica in terms of our low corruption index, because a potential corruption situation with Andrew Wallace, with his assets, that, you know, in terms of the Integrity Commission report, that raised so many red flags and so many alarms, should have been enough for something that should have been prosecuted at any level, at the highest level, the smallest level, or the mid level. So when she brought out the decision not to charge Mr. Holness, yeah, I see why he blames her. I really see why he blames her. Good morning to you, Sharon. Good morning. Welcome, Flood Shop. Big up. So let me know what you guys think about that, ladies and gentlemen. And I invite you guys to go ahead and visit Mr. Will Rattigan's page. This live was done last night. It is a 4-hour live. You guys know how the Titans are. Alright. This is the SSL saga, truth about FinSac, corruption, PM, and Jamaica government. Yeah, man. Go right ahead and subscribe to this page right here. All credit to them. The clip came from them. Alright, so do the right thing in the comment section and tell me what you guys think. Drop your evidence, drop your facts and evidence. You know you can drop links in the comment section, alright? Newspaper articles, whatever the case might be, in terms of the information regarding FinTech, that to challenge, please challenge Mr. Byron with facts, because he's an investigator. He does not work without facts, ladies and gentlemen. Big up Delroy and I place Great Britain, Blessings, and Jamaica. I represent both. Wagwan, morning. I think it's in the afternoon up there. It's about 5 hours ahead. It's almost 12 o'clock. So big up. So let me know what you guys think about that particular one in the comment section. I have something else for you.